Hey, it's Jaden.
And Melissa.
And Christy.
We're the co-founders of Launchers Academy.
And we help dropshippers become successful by providing the most relevant e-commerce strategies.
You're tuning into the Launchers Academy podcast experience,
where you will learn all the ins and outs of how to build your very own successful dropshipping store.
So kick back, take lots of notes, and let's make money this year.
Welcome to another episode of our Launchers Academy Experience podcast. Today, we have a very fun topic, which is debunking dropshipping myths. How this episode is going to work is I'm going to list out the top 5 biggest dropshipping myths, and Jaden and Krista here are going to debunk them. Pretty exciting, and I'm personally looking forward to it myself. Are you both ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Awesome. Okay, let's get to it. So let's kick started off with the most asked question and the number one biggest myth, which is dropshipping is dead in 2021. Jaden and Christy, what do you have to say to that?
Dropshipping is dead as it's like saying that, the world's about to collapse tomorrow. So dropshipping is not dead because here's the thing, right? What is dropshipping in the first place? Well, dropshipping is just a business of, type of model for the e-commerce world where basically you are leveraging a, supplier or a vendor that already has an existing product, and your goal is to market that product and get the buyers and connect the two. So you're brokering pretty much, existing products to, people that have a need for it. So that's what you are as a dropshipper. So looking at the whole model itself, is e-commerce really going to go anywhere? Probably not. I mean, at the current recording of, this episode, it's July of 2021. So one of the biggest events that just happened is the pandemic of last year, March 2020. So here's the thing, right? Because of the pandemic, if not, a lot of us don't realize that a lot of spending happened more because of the pandemic as people are stuck at home. Now, that's not to say because of the pandemic that e-commerce really had a huge catalyst to grow, but e-commerce has always been, around for a while. So really, at the end of the day, e-commerce is only going to get better, especially what's happening in the world right now and as the years have to come. So with dropshipping, it really helps fulfill the need for that specific event, for the specific desire for people who wants to buy online because the world still needs to recover from this. So if anything, the pandemic of March 2020 has helped really give dropshippers and online business owners and e-commerce a huge boost. So to say that dropshipping is dead, I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. Honestly, it's only going to get better. What's actually going to, fade out and really just become a dinosaur is actually brick and mortar, retail stores. And I say that with passion because most people would rather buy online now because they're going to get used to that, custom. Yes, there's also people who just rather go into a store, buy it because they get that instant gratification of touching, feeling it before they buy. But honestly, with dropshipping, being able to cater to the people who rather just buy things, especially for those countries that can't get a specific product in their specific country, you're going to cater to that. So is dropshipping really dead? No. Is it going to get better? A lot better than you initially thought it. So dropshipping is not going anywhere. There's a lot of people that's getting into it. And a lot of our students that are just pretty much thinking about it, that are working with us right now in terms of understanding how to get into dropshipping, they didn't even know what it was. They just want to get into the online e-commerce world. And that's because they're looking towards the future. So really, if you want to be future-minded and really look at where the market is going to go, where the economy is going to start gearing towards, dropshipping, e-commerce, anything online related will be what you need. And dropshipping is just a low-risk model for you to be able to really identify your specific, slice of the pie when it comes to e-commerce. So dropshipping, there's a lot of money to be made in it if you do it correctly, and it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, we wouldn't be having students if that was the case. What are your thoughts, Christy?
Yeah, well, as we always say that, Melissa mentioned previously about dropshipping being two parts. So there's the part about testing your products and finding a winner, and then you want to go into the branding phase. So essentially, going into e-commerce, dropshipping is a low-cost startup method to get into e-commerce and grow your brand further from there. It's just a matter of finding the right product so that you can really invest your time and money into it. I like to share two examples right now that are really, really great examples of brands that started as dropshippers. So number one is BlendJet. BlendJet is in the $1 million revenue brand, and they started out in dropshipping as well with their portable blenders. And they saw that a lot of people wanted to buy those portable blenders, and there's a lot of demand for it. And from testing out different products, that's what their winning product was. And then they took it further and created a brand around it. And if you go onto their website, you can see that there's a lot of great quality photos. There's a really big community on there, and lots of content on that particular portable blenders that they have. And then our second example is Happy Skin Co., which is also in the $1 million business as well. And they also started out with dropshipping and testing out their products and finding a winner, and then further branding it into a one product store. And they even worked with a supplier to come up with more customized products of product lines for their winning product. And there's so much opportunity with dropshipping and starting off there before you dive even further into e-commerce and grow and scale your brand.
Awesome. Love it, love it, love it so much. So you heard it here, folks, guys. Dropshipping in 2021 is not dead. And even in beyond, it's only going to continue to grow. Just to throw in a little bit of stats here as well. Because of the pandemic back in 2020, in the height of the pandemic, which is in March, 10 years of e-commerce growth happened in 3 months. And it's only going to continue to grow upwards from there. A lot of people who were not online shoppers previously, such as more of the millennials or even baby boomers, have become online shoppers because of the pandemic. And now that they've actually experienced what it's like and how easy online shopping actually is, they are only going to stick to this moving forward. So there's even more growth and opportunity within dropshipping. And the other thing that Jaden mentioned is very important as well. E-commerce and dropshipping. Dropshipping is only a business model within e-commerce. It's a low startup model. However, it's only a model. So it's a way to do business. Once you start leveraging it, you're able to see and get into e-commerce in a low, cost method, and that's only going to go up from there. So you heard it here, guys. Dropshipping is not dead. Now, the number 2 biggest myth that we always hear as well is you will get rich quickly in dropshipping. Christy, what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, that's definitely a myth, and a lot of gurus out there, they have their methods, and they don't really share exactly the secrets of their success, and they just tell everyone, oh, it's, a get-rich-quick scheme, and you just do it, and you'll make a lot of money. But there's actually a really long process to it and lots of strategies to execute while you're testing out your winning products and trying to find the winner that's going to make you a lot of money. So I like to split it into 4 steps. Number 1 is product research, finding the right product so that you can test it out and find your winner there. And then second would definitely be the store creation step, where you're putting together your winning store that's going to help you make sales. And also you want to make sure that you provide a positive customer experience. And then number 3, you have your video content, where you're trying to put together your ad creatives and trying to appeal to your target audience and putting together your videos. And then lastly, that's when you launch and scale, and you run your Facebook ads, and you further test out the products through Facebook ads and finding your winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And Christy just gave some gems on how to make sure that you actually get started in some strategies into dropshipping. Now, Jaden, what are your thoughts on the myth of you will get rich quickly in dropshipping?
If you get into dropshipping and you think it's a get-rich-quick scheme, what I would urge you to do is stop dropshipping and just get into something like crypto. Not financial advice here, but if you want to do something that's get-rich-quick, that's where you would want to go into, high volatile things like crypto, because there's a good chance you could get rich quick scheme. And I don't want to kind of advise anyone to go do that, but there's really no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. And if you get into drop shipping under the impression that you are going to get rich quick, literally find a product, slap on a website, run some ads, you'd be a millionaire overnight. Drop shipping is not for you. E-commerce is not for you. You're better off just doing something else because it's a long process. Drop shipping is like a business, and with any business, you need to be able to have fundamentals, infrastructure, processes, and systems, and really concepts to prove and build out really that, the framework in order for you to succeed. So it is a lot of work and it requires a lot of grit. And if you do it well and you have the right help, you can become successful. You're just not going to become rich overnight. I really want to kind of really dispel the stigma that a lot of people has been made to believe because of the gurus and, experts out there as they self-proclaim, shooting these videos. I mean, that because the first thing you're going to do when you start in drop shipping is to buy into that. Please don't buy into that. It is not that easy. It requires a lot of work. A lot of dropshippers, self-proclaim that they are gurus and experts. They like to talk about the results they get. They don't like to talk about the amount of hard work, the sweat and tears, and the sleepless nights that I had to put in order to get it. So don't be under the stigma that if you get into it, you'll be just like them. You don't realize how much money they've spent, how much time they spend, how much mistakes they've made, and more importantly, how many nights they had to go through just to kind of really get themselves to believe it'll work out. So just like any business, you need time. So if you're going to get into drop shipping, be in it for the long term, knowing that you're going to make this work. If your goal is to get instant gratification, that's where you're going to give up and lose a lot of money and pretty much just be like the 90% of people who get started. They would get in, don't see results right away, and then give up. And most people do give up before they're about to become successful, and they're going to have, pretty much a bad negative vibe about it. And that's where they're going to spread to other people and saying dropshipping doesn't work. But we can tell you here as three, it does work. That's why we're doing this podcast. And that's why we have a business where we work with over, hundreds of students, really teach them how to get into it, but more importantly, our own running stores. So dropshipping is still there, but the goal of dropshipping to really kind of emphasize it's to use the dropshipping model to really find a winning brand. So your goal is not to stay as a dropshipper, but to actually find a winning brand, to become a brand owner. But please don't get into this if you're just like, I want to get rich tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is actually so important as well, right? You see all the advertisements on YouTube, on Facebook, on Google, where you see the end result of dropshipping success. So you see all the screenshots of getting tens of thousands of dollars of sales every single month. And people are doing this and they're like 18, 17 doing this as well. But what you don't see is all of the hard work that is actually put into creating this business. Dropshipping, like any other business, is just a business at the end of the day. And for any business to actually be successful, you need to put in the time, effort, consistency into it in order for you to actually see results. So most people that actually give up, they, come in with the mindset that this is something that you're able to get rich very quickly. Come in, get out type of thing, and that's where a lot of them actually fail. So love that, and that was super valuable, Jada and Christy. All right, so you both kind of touched upon this, which is the next myth, is that dropshipping is easy. Now, would you guys expand onto a little bit more on this?
I mean, the only thing I'll expand is just going back to what I literally just said, a couple of minutes ago. It's not easy. It's like building a business. Apple was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. It all takes time. So if you're really going to get into this because you're under an impression that not only is it a get rich quick scheme, but it's easy, dropshipping is not for you. Business in general is not for you because business will require time, block by block, people by people, product by product, store by store, and really just concept by concept. So is it easy? No. Is it going to get any easier? No. I mean, I think, I think as Jay-Z said it best is, the more money you make, the more problems you have. So it's really just essential to understand that you're not getting to something easy, but it is rewarding. So no, it's not easy at all. So do understand that. If you do understand that, you're going to have a lot easier time really just getting into the grind of things and building that block by block and building your own Apple and building your own, castle and you're building your own Rome. So block by block is the impression you want to be under. It's a matter of when, not if. And most people want to get into it thinking if they become successful, but it's when. And it does take time. It's a process.
Yeah, totally. And what people have to really understand is as entrepreneurs, and now that we've seen success ourselves as well, one of the biggest lessons that I've really learned is don't focus on that end destination. Don't focus on that end goal of being rich. You have to fully understand and embrace the entire process of your journey in order for you to actually enjoy the results that you do get as a result of putting in that hard work. But if the only focus that you have is on the end goal of getting rich, you are going to give up so quickly because money is going to get you started, but it is not going to keep you going.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to, in the first few episodes we talked about knowing your why, because dropshipping is not easy. So when you come across your challenges, your 90% of products in dropshipping are losers. So you're going to have to keep testing and testing to find your winning product, which is determined by the market, the number of sales that you're getting. So you really have to keep the process going, and that's what knowing your why comes in, because you want to really understand why you're doing this, why you want to get into dropshipping, why you want to make money with dropshipping, whether it's for financial freedom or getting more time to spend with your family or buying a house for your family. You definitely really need to know your why when you're going into dropshipping, because dropshipping is not easy.
Yeah, totally. And although dropshipping is not easy, it can get easier with the right strategies and the right mentors. So keep listening onto this podcast if you want it to make your life a little bit easier as you get started in your dropshipping journey. All right, so the next myth that we have here is that it takes customers months to receive products. What do you both have to say to that?
Yeah, so the thing I would touch base on is it's a bullet you're going to have to bite. So, I mean, just kind of like in hindsight, we're going to talk a little bit more about the episode as well to give you more clarity. But as a dropshipper, you are going to start with the most obvious supplier, which is AliExpress. And the reason why you want to start in there, because your goal is just to really just find market demand on a product. And AliExpress is the best route because it's cheap. And it's really just a big, superstore that you need to find the products that you need. But you are going to have to bite the bullet when it comes to, having the customer wait a little bit longer, but you can really decrease the amount of time. So there's two sides to it. One is when you are finding specific suppliers, they do offer faster shipping time with a specific warehouse that's housed in the U.S. And we'll kind of touch more based on that. But they do offer faster shipping time. The second part of that, more psychologically, is that, because dropshipping is impulse buying, most people just buy on really just that first impression and that specific need at that time. And then, later as they're going through the journey, sometimes they might actually forget about it. It actually happens to a lot of people who buy products. It happens to me. Sometimes I order something, I forget it. I'm not constantly just refreshing my tracking number on a website or something like that. I have more important things to do. And when it comes, it feels like Christmas to me. I'm just like, oh, I actually ordered this. So, you will have a lot of people out there who's going to, pretty much think like that because 90% of dropshipping impulse buying. So the longer shipping time is not going to be the huge detriment. And I will kind of throw out there is if you're afraid of long shipping time, one thing to really combat that is really understand you're in a people's business. Right? You're selling products to people. People are paying your bills. People are giving you, a salary. People are putting food on your table. You're not paying yourself a salary. You're not buying your own product. One, great way to really combat that, because understanding it's a people's business, just simply getting back to a customer efficiently who is submitting a request or an email, complaining about the long shipping time. You're really going to do yourself a lot of justice if you email back to them, apologize, and also let them know that this shipping delay is because of the current environment and also the current economy, whatever's going on, but just kind of really much talking to them and reassuring them that they will get it. Most people will be very happy because dropshipping, been around for, a while. Most people don't really get back to the customers. So I'll just say is, the shipping aspect of it really that important? Not so much when you first start out. It's going to get more important as you find a good winning product, and the efficiency for you to ship it faster is important. But when you first start out, no, you shouldn't be worried about things like that. You should be worrying about more like keeping your customers happy by just emailing them if you do run across people complaining about it, and also the product researching phase. Because once you do find the winning product, then you can go gung-ho with like 3 to 5 shipping days. So is shipping really going to be important for you when you initially start out? No, it will be once you're able to kind of get to the point where you find a winner. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, and Christy, yourself?
I would add to, just making sure that you set expectations for your customers. So as Jaden mentioned, providing that positive customer support and answering the questions, as well as having a shipping policy page on your website and just highlighting, the general time frame of when they could expect their products to arrive, and then adding some disclaimers on, for example, COVID, there might be some delays. So just being informative and setting expectations, and that really helps build trust with the customer. And then whenever they have questions, just being there to answer them for them, and they're always, they'll be happy to wait.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about setting customer expectations. And it goes back to our previous episode here where we talk about ensuring that you have a positive customer experience. So as long as you're able to set the expectations, not telling that your customer are going to get your product in 2 days when in reality they're going to get it in, maybe 3 weeks, then you'll be able to have that positive customer experience for them. And the other thing you have to keep in mind as well is that the customers you are targeting with dropshipping are impulse buyers. So they're not people that need the product right away. Most of the time, they're actually just scrolling through Instagram, Facebook, looking at products. Your product itself catches their eye and they buy it. So they don't need it. Versus people on Amazon, for example, these people are people who are looking for fast shipping. They're looking for that same day or next day shipping because they need the product and they're actively searching for it. So the customer base that you are targeting right now in dropshipping is completely different from Amazon. So, debunking that myth over there. Now, the very last myth that we have here to talk about today is that no one buys from unknown brands or stores. I'll start off with Christy here.
That is definitely one of the most common myths that a lot of new dropshippers or even anyone really thinks about. But people do buy from brands, even if they're unknown, because as long as you really present yourself in a way that's credible, as we talked a lot about in our previous episodes, people are going to, they're going to buy from a brand that they know, like, and trust. And knowing as in just, looking at your website and seeing all your branding, your logos, your colors, and everything's looking great, and you're providing a positive customer experience with, the content being presented in a way that's easy to digest, with high quality images and lots of great content that they can look through, as well as positive customer reviews. So just making sure that your store is credible on the get-go when people go into your store, that really helps them in terms of converting into purchases, as long as they really see this brand that they can trust.
Love that. It all goes back to knowing your brand and then being able to trust it as well as a consumer when you are looking at the landing pages, ad creatives, Facebook ads, and the ad copy, as well as the landing page copy. Jaden, anything else you want to add to this?
Yeah, I would just say if, you listening and one of the things that is going across your mind is just like, I can't sell a product because I'm not as credible or I don't have millions of followers, you're thinking really wrong. Because there's certain things, like kind of Chrissy mentioned, that's super important to really help you build credibility. There's certain things you can do for free to really build credibility, right? So, 2 quick examples, just like having trust badges to really reassure people on your website that you are legit, and that you are going to have, you are going to be able to fulfill the order and stuff like that. And simple trust badges don't cost you anything. You can literally just Google that. And then another thing as well is having testimonials, whether, it be reviews on your website or like actual video testimonial talking about your product. Maybe you use the product yourself. Maybe they're actual customers talking about the product that you've already had customers. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot of products that you're concerned to sell. There are going to have some testimonials out there and also reviews about it, and you can really take advantage of that. So, it's not a matter of, your brand being super big. It's more about really understanding the fundamentals to build credibility. So more of the small details really add up to the bigger details. But yeah, like honestly, at the end of the day, there's 2 things when it comes to a customer's mind. It's the trust and it's also the benefits, right? So if you're able to do small little things like I just mentioned to build that credibility, and really it's not a lot of effort, then you already have half the battle there. And the other half of the battle is most of the time, if the product really solves a problem and you're able to really just display it and visually, create something that's pleasing to watch and also really illustrates the pain points and the problems of, the ideal customers of what they're going through, and be able to kind of giving them a solution and listing the benefits to it, people will buy, because at the end of the day, people spend money on things that solves a problem. So don't look at it in terms of like, I'm a small brand, I'm just starting as a dropshipper, I'm just starting my store, and no one's gonna buy it from me. That's not the way you want to look at it. You want to look more like, how can I improve on my credibility in my store so it makes it more legit. And then also more importantly are these actual reviews on this? Can I take advantage of any of these reviews out there? Because most, if not all the time, there will be reviews for a specific product. And then really at the end of the day, if you're able to outline the specific problems you're solving, people will buy it. So at the end of the day, because it's impulse, most people don't really spend too much time thinking about the reviews and also how, if this is credible. They think more in terms of, does this product actually solves a problem? So having a good positive experience and also more important reviews, things like that you can get away with. So yeah, honestly, big brands, small brands, it doesn't matter. It's more about the small little details of how you build out your store to make it look more legit. So you don't have to have like a big influencer talking about it. You don't have to have 1 million followers to look legit. It's more about how you're putting together the whole, concept of your store and all that fun stuff. So honestly, small store, big store, it doesn't really matter. You will make purchases at the end of the day because people are buying solutions. They're not buying so much credibility. They're buying solutions. Credibility is just another factor to help you get more purchases. So those are my thoughts.
Love that. So at the end of the day, people are buying solutions to the problems that they have. So as long as you're really able to showcase your brand as something that is credible and trustworthy, the customers will be able to buy. And they'll be able to validate that trust as well when they actually get the product and see that the product is actually high quality and is actually what they purchase online, and they'll be able to come back to your store later on for additional purchases. And, especially in 2021 as well with dropshipping, it's no longer available that you can just slap together a store within 30 minutes to an hour and just expect that you can sell things, because now the space is really competitive. There are a lot of people who want to get into this online space. So for you as a business owner, you need to showcase that you are trustworthy and credible. Love that. All right, so those were the top 5 myths that we have debunked here, and the top 5 biggest myths that we have heard at Launchers Academy through the industry within our own students before they actually signed on to us. So to summarize, number 1, dropshipping is not dead in 2021. It's only going to continue to grow because e-commerce is only going to escalate and grow on from here. Number 2, dropshipping is not a get quick, easy scheme. So it will take you time in order for you to see results. But as long as you're able to put in that time, consistency, and the effort, you will be able to get, you will see the fruits of your labor. Number 3, dropshipping is not easy. However, it can get easier with the appropriate strategies as well as the right mentors. Number 4, it does take customers, a little bit longer shipping time than it is to get a product on Amazon, for example. However, as long as you're able to set expectations for your customers, they'll be okay with receiving a product that they get a little bit later on. And there are now U.S. warehouses where customers can actually get their product within 4 to 12 days. And last but not least, people will buy from, stores that are not super known if you have the right credibility and trust badges and trustworthiness that you're building with them.
Did you enjoy this episode?
If you did, which we believe you did, as we dropped a ton of value,
support us by giving us a 5-star rating.
That's 5 stars, not 3, not 4, but 5 stars.
Also, we'd love to hear from you, so please leave your comment below.
And we'll be sure to get back to you. Take care, and until next time.